Hello there, welcome back to another video. So today I have a very nice fragrance. It's one of my favorite fragrances and I'm talking about Bleu de Chanel. And today we are going to look at the alternatives that are available for the EDT version. And with me today I have this particular fragrance from the house of Maison Alhambra. This is called Bleu de Chance. Okay, now we're going to talk about this particular fragrance and we're going to talk and find out how's the scent profile, how's the projection, of course, but we're also going to try and see if there is another competitor in the market which is better than this, or this is better than that. And also we'll look at an Indian fragrance which or from a popular house and see if that is better or what should you actually get, right? All of that in this particular video right after this particular intro. You're watching The Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney. Let's get going. Welcome back, and this is the Bleu de Chance bottle from the house of Maison Alhambra. And just look at the bottle. They've done a really nice job on the bottle. Okay, so very nice, good color and good touch. It's very soft in the edges and all of that. Very nice bottle. And the atomizer is also good. Comes in a very basic paper box. It's got Bleu de Chance written, some silver colored graphics, and at the back some information. Maison Alhambra here and all of that. So decent box and not much. And when you compare it to the Parfum edition that I have, just look at the way the bottles look. Not exactly alike, but I think they're trying to get the essence of the particular bottle very well, right? So those are good things about the bottle. And one other thing that they've done really nice is just the sprayer. Okay, just watch out for the sprayer. Okay, look at the way it puffs. It puffs really nice in the air and it smells very nice in the air as well, right? So yes, so first let's talk about this particular fragrance and let's talk about its scent profile, right? Now Bleu de Chanel as a fragrance was released in the year 2010, and this is a video, you can think about it as a revisit to Bleu de Chanel, because that was the first fragrance that I reviewed on this particular channel almost 8-10 months back, right? About 10 months back roughly, you can say. And that was the first video that I did, and I picked up all from an Indian house called Alternate Fragrances of Dinesh Kapoor, which was my best pick for Bleu de Chanel. But whatever, one thing I've realized is there has been a little bit of stability issues with him delivering the product and all of that. So I would get a request for Bleu de Chanel all the time, and I really didn't have any good alternative. So I've thought of revisiting this, and in this particular series there might be a couple of videos with regards to Bleu de Chanel alternatives, and this is probably going to be video number 1 where we are talking about Maison Alhambra's Bleu de Chance. Okay, so having said this, so let's talk about the scent profile of this particular fragrance. So when you put this on, it kind of immediately resonates with the DNA of Bleu de Chanel, where this particular fragrance has got a lot of grapefruit, it's got lemon, it's got mint, it's got pink pepper, it's got ginger, it's got vetiver, it's got sandalwood, it's got musk and cedar wood and incense. Okay, so that is another element on this particular fragrance that you will get. Okay, now so with that note, what you kind of get is a very refreshingly spicy woody type of a fragrance with light hints of incense at the back end, but mostly a fragrance that's done very well with the citrus element on that. Okay, so it's very beautifully done fragrance, and in my opinion, this must be one of the greatest of all times, or could get into that particular category of list of fragrances. I mean, the original Bleu de Chanel is really popular because it ticks a lot of the boxes in the right way. You can wear this for office, you can wear it for casual wear, you can wear it for date night, you can wear it for literally any occasion. This is one of those fragrances that you can blind buy and you will be 98% right on your decision of doing a blind buy. That means you can wear it across the year for any occasion. So it suits almost everything and it will get you a lot of compliments because it is not a very sweet kind of a fragrance, okay, but at the same time it's got a nice warm element of spices, it's got a good zesty feeling of that citrus elements, it's got a nice note of ginger, it's got a good amount of woody notes because of cedar and sandalwood, gives you that mild creaminess, sweetness, and of course that incense playing in the background. Most importantly, this also has got patchouli, so there's a bit of that earthiness that you get, and along with vetiver. So literally it's kind of ticked almost the right type of ingredients that is required, or what most people want in a regular casual wear fragrance that they can wear for office or anywhere and still get compliments, right? Now because of that, this particular fragrance is really good for any situation, and it's a very warm kind of a fragrance. Now when you put this on, you get a very nice hint of that citrusy element along with a slight hint of incense, vetiver and all of that, and making it a very beautiful fragrance. Now on this particular fragrance, what you get straight into the heart note of the Bleu de Chanel DNA where you are getting the citrusy elements. Okay, you do get those vetiver vibes, you do get that woody base, all of that, but everything is in a good transition, not anything which is very dominant as to say, right? So from a very scent profile point of view, I think this DNA is about 85%. So that is what I think, it's how close in terms of the OG to it, about 80 to 85% is what I would say, right? Now, what it carries also well is the lasting on the apparel. So on apparel, you will easily get it for about 5 to 6 hours time. So that is not a problem. In fact, it can go a little more also, I would say. So lasting is also not a problem. What it kind of lacks is what I feel is the punch that you get in the OG. The OG has got a lot of punch, okay? So that part of it is something that misses on this particular fragrance, okay? But if you put this on, like even if you do 10 to 12 sprays, you can kind of, feel the fragrance for, about 20 to 40 minutes time, and after that it starts to go light. But even in that 20 to 40 minutes time, I would say this is a very skin close kind of a scent, maybe about 1.5 feet to 2 feet is what you will get, but not more than that. But the good thing is, whenever you move across, you get a little bit of air from the AC, or you're passing through some doors, you get a whiff of air, you always get that hint of that fragrance on you. So you'll always get that citrusy, spicy vibe on you all throughout, and that's something you'll absolutely enjoy, because at a category of a blue DNA type of a fragrance, this is the one that is the game changer in terms of blue fragrances. So that way it does really, really well. So what is it? So scent profile for about 80 to 85% is good. Lasting on apparels is definitely good for about 6 to 7 hours time. What it lacks is, it lacks punch. Okay, definitely misses out on punch. And of course, because it's not very loud in terms of its projection, that is something that you will kind of miss. But other than that, is it a good alternative to have considering Blue Day Chanel's EDTA version? Probably yes, because at a price point that you will get, which is less than 1,500 rupees, this is a good deal to get, because it kind of reminds you of Blue Day Chanel to a good extent. Okay, so that is about Maison Alhambra's Blue Day Chance, which I think, in my opinion, is a good alternative to get. Now, the other players in the market. So the biggest player or the competitor for this particular fragrance is from the house of Albait, and I spoke about this in the summer fragrances list also from the house of Albait. So I have a decant of it from Fragzone, so you can get in touch with Fragzone if you want a decant of this or this, right? So you can get any decants from him, right? Now, the primary difference that I feel when I compare Albait versus this is, I felt Albait was a little lighter, okay, compared to this. So one of part is that. Second is, this leans little more towards the citrusy, opening. Okay, the lot of those grapefruit, mint, citrusy opening is something that you will get on this. Whereas this, I felt, leans a lot more towards the patchouli part of this particular fragrance. Although it carries those citrusy elements and all of that, but I feel there is more towards the patchouli, right? Other than that, the third part is, I feel the performance on this one is also very average. You get about 4 to 5 hours time is what I felt. Where here, this outshines this by a little longer in terms of at least apparel. You will smell it for a much longer time. So definitely, if you want to consider between the two, I would say please definitely consider Maison Alhambra's Blue Day Chance. Definitely good one to get, right? Now, this is especially, this part, up until this part is especially for somebody who is accessible to get these, or Albait, you can definitely consider this. Especially a lot of my audience, which is from the US and all of that, you can definitely consider getting this. But folks from India who are able to get Indian alt houses, I have another fragrance that you should consider. Now, I also have a decant of the Blue Day Chanel EDT with me, and I have the Parfum edition also. Now, so I've compared this to the OG today in my testing, and whenever I've worn it. So today I did compare it with the OG to see how similar, and that's all of what I have said is basis this. Now, from an Indian house point of view, I also got the Blue Day Chanel Alt from Scentadelic. Okay, I also have it from Muzna, and like I said, I have done a video previously also, and I told you that this is a revisit. So all of these alts I've already compared. That time I did not have the Scentadelic one. I got this recently just for this particular video. So this is from Scentadelic. Now I'll tell you what this one does. So this was the cover edition, and I think Scentadelic officially calls it Tobirama, I think, under the regular launch series. So you can kind of get this. This is a 30 ml or a 25 ml bottle that I got from a fellow fraghead. Okay. Now, when I put this on and when I tried the OG, there are a lot of similarities in the opening. Okay, that punchiness that you get from that spice, citrusy element, along with that incense note of, right at the top, that spicy element that you get in the OG, very well captured by this particular fragrance, which is not the case here in those two. Okay, so whereas Blue Day Chance and Albait, like I said, Albait leans a little towards earthy side, and this leans a little towards the citrusy side. In terms of the note capture or the opening notes part, I think a Scentedelic's EDT version has done really, really well. One. Second, where this fails in terms of punch, this packs a loud punch. You put it on, you kind of instantly know that you put on a fragrance very, very loud in the air, no doubts about it. Okay, so that's another part where this particular captures. In terms of closeness to OG, I will say this is almost a 90% close to the OG. So very, very close to the OG in terms of its scent profile. Performance, you will get easily about 5 to 6 hours time on this one as well. So it has all of those DNA of the Bleu de Chanel, which is the citrus elements, the incense element, the vetiver, the sandalwood, the musk factor. So another factor, this is more muskier also, right, when I compared the Bleu de Chanel to the OG, whereas this I feel is lightly milder, lightly, or 50%, I would say this is muskier. This is the lowest in terms of muskiness, in terms of all the oils that you have, right? So if you're from India and you have access to get Scentedelic's perfumes, then I would say for an EDT point of view, please get Scentedelic's Tobirama, definitely a good fragrance to get. Okay, now if you are from the Middle East, or if you do not want to get an Indian alt house, then you want a fragrance which is easily accessible, you can get a good volume, then definitely get Bleu de Chance, because not bad. So like I said, this is probably about 80 to 85% close to the OG. This is a little bit more. This is about 90% plus. More importantly, this packs a punch, which this one kind of lacks, right? So that is what I kind of found as alternative for the EDT version, and I am a big fan of this particular DNA, because somewhere if you look at blue fragrances, and when I compare the next best thing to this, which is your Dior Sauvage, I feel Bleu de Chanel is way better than that, or it feels a little more classy or little more complex than Dior Sauvage. Okay, so I've always leaned a lot more towards Bleu de Chanel, and that's my personal opinion. So that is what I feel about these three fragrances that I've tried out, two Middle Eastern houses, Bleu de Chance and Albait, and from the Indian house, Scentedelic. Okay. One other element in terms of pricing, I think Albait's 88 ml that they offer is about, again, 1400, 1500, maybe 1600 rupees at max, whereas I think the Scentedelic's 50 ml comes to about 999 or 1199 on his Facebook sales. Maybe on the website it could be slightly more, so that is something that you can check. But from a value point of view, I think this is the most value for money, because this comes at about 1200, 1300 rupees from Exclusive Scent, for example. I put a link, or I'll put the Amazon link if it is available there for you to check. So most value for money definitely would be this, because this comes at 100 ml for that particular price point, whereas Albait comes at about 88, and Scentedelic comes at about 50 ml for that same price point. So if you're looking for a good alternative Bleu de Chanel, these are three options that you can consider, specifically from a EDT point of view. For the Parfum edition, I am also going to get Muzna's alt. They have a Bleu de Chanel EDP alt, which should probably come in a couple of days time, so you will be able to see another video for this. Plus I also have the Dua alt as well, which I've kept it for maceration, because I want to try it out and then come back to you and tell you what that leans towards, whether the EDP or the EDT version. So if you're from the US, you will probably want to get that as well, so I will let you know about that very shortly, right? So this has been my comparison for Bleu de Chanel, specifically for how Bleu de Chance compares against Albait, which is the most popular versions in the market. And then from an Indian house, I would say pick up Scentedelic's Tobirama, or the EDT version of Bleu de Chanel. Okay, so you're watching the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney. Until another time, take care. Bye.